Now you've made your single subject reversal design graph, and you need to submit it in your paper, which means you need to move your graph from your Excel document to a Word document. We'll show you how to do this using Microsoft Office 2007. First, left-click the graph until it is selected. You can see that by it being highlighted here. Then right-click it, select Copy, open your Word document, right-click, select Paste. And there, our graph shows up in the document. Now, you have 3 participants that you ran this study on, and you don't want to recreate this graph 3 times. So, once you've entered this graph, you've copied and pasted the graph into the Word document here. Left-click until your cursor is down here on the right side of the graph at the bottom. Press Enter once until your cursor is below. Right-click by the cursor, select Paste, and you will have pasted your graph in there 2 times. Do the same thing again. The cursor's down here. Right side bottom of the last graph, press Enter. Now next to the cursor, right-click, select Paste, and you will have 3 graphs in your document. Now, all 3 of these graphs have the same data, which isn't what you want because you have 3 different participants with 3 different data sets. So, you want to minimize your Word document, then come back to Excel. We're going to move this graph down and out of the way. Come up to A1, which has session data. Left click on it, drag your cursor all the way to the bottom of the data and all the way to cover all that. So once all of that is selected, I'm going to right click, select Copy, and in cell D1, select with one left click and then right click 1 time. On the drop down menu, select Paste. So we've just copied and pasted your data. Do that one more time in cell G1, select it 1 time with the left click, right click 1 time, on the drop down menu select Paste. Here you've got 3 sets of data now. Select the first cell under the session data on your second participant. So the information here is participant 1, participant 2, participant 3. So each of these data sets we're going to assume is a different participant. And you want to enter the data from participant 2 under the second section of data here, second set of data. So you're just going to write over participant 1's information. 2, 3, 2. Okay, and then participant number 3's data, you want to enter that in this third section of data, collection information right here, third one. So you're just going to again write over participant 1's data. You have to left click down to get down to the second one, and then you should be able to arrow down to enter each cell very easily. Okay, once that's done, you've entered all the data for participant 2 and participant 3 by simply copying what you had in the first participant's information. This makes it a lot easier to just copy and paste and then enter your data. It saves a lot of work and time. Now open your Word document again. And here's the top. You're going to scroll down to the second graph. This is going to be your second participant. Okay. Select the data. You can see it's selected by being right around here. Select data points. And then select one of the data points with the right click on the drop-down menu. Select Edit Data. On the second participant, I'm going to select their data. You want to double click, and under the Design tab, you want to go to Data panel and select Data. Okay, now the Select Data source is going to show up, and you can see that the dotted line surrounding this right here indicates that this is the data that we have on the graph. This is the data from participant 1 that's already showing. We want to select the data from participant 2 that we entered over here, so we're going to highlight the data in column E2 through E16. So you left click once to select, drag, release. Now under Select Data Source tile, you're going to select OK. Open your Word document again. And as you can see, it has changed the data to match the second participant that you had entered in the Excel worksheet, which is different than participant 1 up here. So this is participant 2. So we used the same graph, we just copied it and then selected different data to be entered into it, which saves a lot of time. So then let's do it one more time. You're going to scroll down to participant 3, select the data points, and they're all highlighted so you know they're all selected. On the Design tab, you're going to go down to the Data panel and click on Select Data. It will then take you to your Excel graph that has your data that's selected over here. And again, this was from the data from participant 1. We want to go over to participant number 3. And under the data column for participant 3, left click one time, hold your clicker down and drag to select all of the data, and then release. Come back to your Select Data Source panel and click OK. Now open your Word document and as you can see here, it entered the data for participant 3 in the graph. So now you have 3 graphs with data for 3 different participants. And they all have different data. If you have 3 different participants and you've referred to them in your paper by different names, then you want to make sure that you label the data for each participant in your graph. So under the Insert tab in Word, go over to the panel Text and select Text Box. A drop-down menu will appear. Go all the way to the bottom. The second to last option is Draw Text Box. So then you're going to go down to the bottom of your first graph, left click one time, and hold your clicker down and make an assumption about how big the name could be. Right, something like this will show up. It shows it's selected, so type in the name. I'm going to choose Beth. Press enter, or just select somewhere else on the thing, and there's your name. So we still have 2 more to do. Again, you want to go up to the top on the second tab, Insert, go down to the panel entitled Text and select Text Box. Scroll down to Draw Text Box. You're going to left click where you want the name to go, hold, and then release, and type in the name. Then select somewhere else on the page. I'm going to do this one more time. Insert. Under Text Panel, you're going to select Text Box, Draw Text Box, left click where you want the name to go, hold, release, type in the name. Now, if there is a box around the name like this, you don't want that. So you're going to right click on the drop down menu, you're going to select Format Text Box, and the color, you're going to select white, click OK, and that will make the line surrounding the name disappear. So then you have all of your participants named and all of your graphs. Again, if there's something encircling your text box, you're going to select it once with the left clicker, then right click on the drop down menu, select Format Text Box, underline color. On the drop down menu, you're going to select white, and then click OK.